How's it going, everybody? My name's Golden and welcome to another Magic the Gathering Arena video. Today we're going to be playing an Abzan Midrange list. I made this for a best of one, but I changed it, put it into a best of three series, put a sideboard on it, made some changes to the main board, did some stuff like that, and I'm happy with the way it turned out. This is my first attempt at it. It's definitely not the last attempt at it. I think there are some definite changes that can be made to the deck to make it better, but it's a ton of fun. That Eerie Ultimatum, it's nice. It's nice. If you want to check out the best of one version, I'll put a link in the description below to that video of the deck tech. I'm going to do a deck tech for this one too, so let's get to it. Okay, so here's the deck. I did already review one very similar to this in best of one in one of my other videos, so I'm not going to go too long on this, but the deck revolves around the card Eerie Ultimatum. It's one of the 5 new sorcery cards in the new set. Eerie Ultimatum states that when you return when you cast it, you return any number of permanents, not non-land permanents, so any lands also come back, which can be helpful, as long as they have different names from your graveyard to the battlefield. So 7 mana, 3 colors, you cast it, you can return all cards back from your graveyard that have different names. So the only thing you can't do is bring back 2 of the same card. Pretty simple. In order to make this card more effective, I decided to go with a list that runs a lot of spread out different creatures and different legendaries and different planeswalkers. So tried to go with just powerhouses a lot in the mid game. I played around with it. One of the things that makes it so fun is there's so many different ways to build this because you are spreading out what creatures you put in the deck that there's so many different versions. I can be playing with this for a long time. I don't think this is the best version. I think I've seen glimmers. There's been glimmers of this being really, really good, but I can also feel that it's a little bit off. So definitely something I'm going to play around with and try to make this deck something that can be competitive. Now, I am playing in Diamond, and I'm playing against good decks, and I'm playing against basically not new decks at this point because everybody in Diamond's trying to get to Mythic, and they're not messing around like I am. But so you get to see these next 2 matchups are against some pretty competitive decks, and you can see kind of how this deck matches up against that. So let's go into some of the main cards. Obviously, like I said, the Ultimatum card, but we also have some ramp with Paradise Druid and Skull Prophet. Skull Prophet also serves to fuel your graveyard. We have some early game removal in the form of permanents, Banishing Light, Glass Casket. We also have some Elspeth at the top end, so I chose more enchantment-based removal because you can bring it back from your graveyard. So whenever you cast Ultimatum, these come back, and not only are you putting a bunch of your own creatures and planeswalkers on the board, you're getting rid of theirs at the same time. The main part of this could be changed around a little bit, I think, and just optimized, but as of right now, this seems okay. We have some Shadow the Skies because sometimes you just gotta smash the oh shit button whenever you're falling behind. So it's in there. And it definitely helps. And one of the nice things is even if you kill all your own stuff, you're playing a deck that can bring all of it back. They probably aren't. So it still benefits you if you're in that spot where like they're just pulling ahead and you need to clear the board. You're against aggro, something like that. Shadow the Sky comes in really handy because a few turns later you might be able to just bring everything you put in the graveyard right back. Questing Beast, because Questing Beast is just a good legendary 4-drop. Polychronos, same thing. Like I said, Elspeth Conquered Death. God Eternal Ketra, because if you're in that mid to late game, you have a Ketra on the board, and you start dropping your lower to the ground creatures, you can get some value out of it. Nissa, because Nissa's good. Anything you're trying to get to 7 mana, Nissa helps. Vivian, in the games that I'm going to showcase, I don't think I used Vivian correctly. I think with more practice and more play, this deck could have been played better just by me. The -2 ability is something I was overlooking a lot of with Vivian that I probably could have used a little bit better. So don't kill me in the comments when you're looking at it. Oh, you could have -2 Vivian, drop these creatures, and then you could have got some other creatures. I know that. Still, making a 3/3 with the +1 ability is almost just as good in a lot of cases as pulling out Skull Prophet or something like that. So it can go either way. So that's a card that I'm going to play around with, different ways to use her in this deck, which ways are the best, and I think I'll get a little bit better. Now, Nethroi, I didn't really get a lot of value with. The mutate ability I didn't get to use yet. I'm not running a lot of other mutate cards as well either, so it is something that I wanted to run it because it does synergize with the graveyard effects of this deck really well, but I didn't get to use it, so maybe some tweaks to the deck to make Nethroi a little bit more relevant is good. Liliana's awesome. Liliana can win you games. And then a big boy at the top because it has a low cycling cost. You can put it into your graveyard real cheap and draw a card, and then it gives you something to bring back. You're probably not going to cast it for 8 mana that often, but if you do, it's still an 11/11 with trample. But if you can cycle it into your graveyard and then bring it back with the ultimatum, it's a good card. Okay, that's the deck. Enjoy the gameplay. The second game is a grinder, and he drew really well. I didn't draw too well, but I wanted to showcase it because it definitely shows how it can match up against Bant Ramp. And obviously we know Bant Ramp or Bant Control is very, very good. So I wanted to showcase how this deck can match up against it, how it can do well against it, and how it can get beat against it. So it does show off the power level of this deck to compare it to something like that. So enjoy the gameplay. I appreciate you guys watching the channel. I hope you enjoy the games and have a good day. Gulgor. We're just gonna ramp into Oketra. That is the game plan here. Or into Shatter the Sky, but probably into Oketra. Yeah, I'm gonna draw that because we have so much ramp and a Shatter. So we probably will be fine with that. I mean, it's a little slow though, so that's the problem with that. Alright, here's the game plan. We don't lose this. Next turn, we can do Shatter or Oketra. Unless I draw white mana. And the turn after that. So we have to do this. Play the... We gotta pray for white mana. Well, that is there just to turn that on. Or he doesn't have the mana open. Nah. Watch, white mana, white mana. No, okay. Alright, look, it came in handy this game. Alright. It was something that keeps us alive for a second. Make another Pride Mate. Get a catcher down. Well, that's interesting. We're gonna start pooping out 4/4s. Start filling up our graveyard. Okay, we hit a Nissa. Nah. Double strike is much better with trample. Just like he comes back to life. So, I mean, if Ashiok dies, it's okay. I mean, we're gonna bring him back, but I don't know. We'll see how this goes. And I don't have like Elspeth Conquers Death or anything. That's what we kind of need. Well, we have a chance. Oh, we could just shatter again. We don't have the mana for the ultimatum anyways, because we don't have the right mana costs, apparently. Oh, wait. It's like I forgot. See what ends up in the graveyard. Banishing Light. Okay. So if we ultimatum, I get a Banishing Light, a Polychronos, Questing Beast, Paradise Druid, Fable Passage, Nissa, Ashie, or Skull Prophet, Paradise Druid. So let's... So if I attack with these, what? He just blocks here and here, right? Nah. That was a mistake. I have a Questing Beast. I should have just did the Questing Beast so I could attack with it. But it wouldn't really matter. Actually, don't want Ashiok. Oh. You saw the writing on the wall with that one. Alright, we take game one with a big ol' ultimatum. Glass Casket's good here. Put Shovel, gives us some life. Put another Shatter the Sky, another Banishing Light. Take out the Brood Moth. Now we're going to take out the Brood Moth, it's fine. Although, you know what, Brood Moth with Shatter the Sky is good. So I'm going to leave that in. Take out one of the Nissas and the Vivians. And the 3/3s could come in handy, but the lifelink on this is good, obviously. Liliana. Take this out, it's a little slow. Take out one of the ultimatums, even though it won us the game. It's a little bit slow also. Two seems like enough anyways. It's kind of a dead card in your hand for a while. Okay, we have Faith. That's a good keep. No 2-mana play. Run out the Paradise Druid. So now we have Elspeth Conquers Death for Heliod. Still gonna use it on Heliod. I also have Nissa. Nissa is always a good choice. Alright, we drop Nissa and we win. We didn't even have to get to the ultimatum. It was enough. We would have attacked and he would have had to trade off the Pridemate or lose his Ajani Planeswalker. So, let's see if we got the correct recipe. Alright. I don't have any ramp, but that's okay. We have a decent start here. Turn 2, we'll put in Shovel. Get Ashiok down. Mystical Dispute actually hits this. I didn't even think about that. That is like the only card in my entire deck that has blue on it. Well, that sucks.
I'm known for my excellent timing. That's more like it.
The next turn we Fable Passage and either Elspeth Conquers Death or Vivian Monster's Advocate. At least Elspeth Conquers Death can bring back Ashiok if we resolve it.
Trust me, I have a plan.
Narset. Fair enough.
Just the trick for this.
Oh, he has his own shit. That does get in the way, doesn't it?
That's how it was meant to happen.
So unfortunately, he can just take out that with his own Elspeth Conquers Death. But at least I got a card draw out of that.
Keep an open mind.
That's 2 Elspeth Conquers Deaths he got off of that Narset. I just took that turn to ramp. I mean, he can kill Vivian with this anyway, so it was pointless to do that.
Trust me. You'll thank me later. I've got time.
Fortunately, Vivian only survives the turn.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
I don't want to kill Teferi yet because he can just bring it back.
I know 88 ways to defeat you. Pick one.
Let's try this.
Hone your prowess. Forgive me.
Okay. So first things first. Let's kill Teferi. No, that's actually no. What am I saying? Let's kill both of them.
Now
I
what?
won't forget our time together.
Let's attempt to do Elspeth Conquers Death. He can't Mystical Dispute. Wonder if he runs Agent of Treachery. If so, Tristani is giggles. Oh, but he does have Shattered Sky. Fair enough.
Right on schedule.
Bouncing that
I
is
got
marginally okay, I guess. Just gonna replay it.
We will meet again.
Could have ran out Vivian in that turn while I had the opening. So, Glass Casket does hit Uro. still has Mystical Dispute mana open, but I can easily play around it because of the pay 3. Also, Mystical Dispute costs 2 more. Never mind. Don't even gotta play around Mystical Dispute. Love it. Yeah. Yeah. Keep it in my hand. Can play it out next turn. Oh, praises. That's nasty. Do this. Let's put this down. See what's on the top of our library.
That's precious.
Do I want that?
I really should have seen that.
I'm not prepared for this. I love making new friends.
Okay. We were empty-handed and he has like 90 cards because of Hydro Krasis. Because Krasis is good. Surprisingly. Hopefully he doesn't realize that as reach and he just tries to attack anyways. But I guess that's what you do in this situation. At least I have Nissa next. Probably not going to be able to actually play Nissa without it getting countered. Yeah, the trample on that.
How savage.
How savage, she says. Oh, Dreaming Boar comes out. Shatter the Sky would be nice. Get that out of here. Oh, there it was. No, I guess I need...
Diversity is our greatest strength. I will aid you. The land shall conquer you.
Why did it tap this and not the Triomes? Oh, actually, never mind. Nissa makes it so that I can pay 4 with that. Fair enough. Have a good day. If I can pull off an ultimatum, which seems unlikely, hopefully this is the only counter that he has. Because I really would like Nissa to be alive. That makes it so that way that is more useless. He has a lot of mana right now, though. I don't even know. Oh, that was with Conqueror's Death.
I can help you no longer.
Okay. Well, it makes so I can't bring Nissa back. I can't play the top card of my library, so I think I just lose now. At least Elspeth Conqueror's Death doesn't get anything. That's fine. It doesn't matter even if I were to draw Eerie Ultimatum. It's going to cost 9 mana, and he'll just counter it. Shatter the Sky is the only thing that works right now. Yeah, you probably just go face, right? And even Shatter the Sky he brings back. Okay. That'll do it. Okay, so we bring in Shifting Ceratops. Another Shatter the Sky. Vanishing Light. I wonder if it's worth having more two copies of Chevelle in here. Ashiok is pretty good. I would have liked to draw one of the 3 of these that I had. Yeah, I don't know. Let's take out a little bit of ramp. I don't think I can keep up with him anyways. Nah, screw it. Take out one of these. Put in the ramp. We're going to take out one of the Ashioks. 2 seems like it's enough. Elspeth is obviously good. Take out the big boy here. Let's try it. Okay. It's going to take us a minute and it might be too late. But we have Shifting Ceratops, which is obviously really good. Palukrinos is also pretty good because we can bring it back from the graveyard at some point. The downside about using escape creatures is that you do clear out your graveyard. But hopefully it's something that if you can't get this off, you can do that. So we'll get a quick Ceratops down. Burrow's fine. Shadow the Sky hurts here, so I'm probably gonna hold off on Polar Kranos. Well, no, right? I mean, I'm gonna keep the ramp, because ultimately, if he shatters, Eerie Ultimatum brings everything back. Skull Prophet is a 3-1, good thing to remember. It's a decent amount of power on the board. See if he grabs white. Yeah, Shatter incoming. Okay, Elspeth Conquers Death is good. We're gonna get closer to an Eerie Ultimatum here. Or we just play that. Yep. Drop the big boy. The only thing is he may have Elspeth Conquers Death, but we'll do what he did to us last game, and we will Elspeth Conquers Death him right back. Yep. It would be nice to get Paradise Druid down and get closer to these ultimatum. But I think that was the right call. Because even if I drew a land, I wouldn't be able to do the ultimatum because of the second chapter of Elspeth Conquers Death. And the second chapter of Elspeth Conquers Death might come in handy for us next turn. We'll see. I mean, ultimately, these Eerie Ultimatums aren't great yet, but they might come in handy if we draw some more cards. I think Shovel might be worth putting more copies in just for more card draw, because that's the one thing this deck has been running out of steam. Yeah. I mean, we're really not bringing back much on this Eerie Ultimatum anyways. So if we get a better play, I'll take it. We did Treachery. I was wondering, if he had that, and I thought about putting in Tristani. Actually, I should have waited and just to see if he derps and if he attacks with the Hydrocrisis, so I could use the Breach on this, because that's a common mistake. Huh, I wonder what he has in his hand. He's 8 mana. Okay. Obviously, he doesn't have lands. Okay. But does he have a counter is the question. Doesn't have a counter that... Oh, it's actually still not that good yet. Let's try to get Ashiok down. Exile Uro. I'm only on 6 life. That is a problem. Bye. So he didn't counter that. That's a good sign. Okay, Elspeth Conquers Death. Do I have an Elspeth Conquers Death in my graveyard? I do. Perfect. So now he has 3 mana open. Oh, psych. Okay. He's tapped out. Basically. We just start clicking buttons. Basically, you have to just click quickly because it blacks out what you don't, what you've already clicked. So you. Scry, don't want that. I might just keep this to cycle. It might not be enough though, because he probably has like a Shadow the Sky in his hand. Because why wouldn't he have a Shadow the Sky in his hand? Cameo.
I would like to test a new hypothesis with you.
Is he gonna dig for Shatter?
Seek and find.
He didn't find it. It's a good sign. I have another Elspeth Conquers Death. Okay, Teferi goes down.
Let's slow this down. I'll protect you.
Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage. Let's run this out.
I have learned all I can here.
Thought about dumping stuff into the graveyard with this, just so I might have a target for Elspeth Conquers Death. But I have Skull Prophet. It's not great, but it's something.
You just let me know if you're up for round 2.
Need some big boys. So his non-creature spells are more expensive now. That's a good thing. He can bring back Uro. It puts him up to 11, gives him a 6/6 in the way. I still have more damage than that. I have 13. No. Oh, actually. 5, 10. I have 11 damage, exactly. If he can block out. If he blocks this out. Actually, I could just pay to fight that. Growth Spiral cost him 4. I wonder if he realized that. Hopefully not. Yes! We get to hit game 2 with some big ol' ultimatums. I'm putting Tristani in now just for giggles. You know, I don't need to low to the ground mutate creatures, do I? No. I can mutate it onto a creature. Probably still worth keeping one in. I thought about not, but it's fine. Take out one of the Nisses. Sure. See if, I mean, keeping a 2-lander is always risky, especially in a deck that runs big spells, but we have the Skull Prophet, and there's Ashiok, so that's good. We just need to draw like 2 more lands in a row. I think I'm running 26 lands. So we have a chance. He gets off to a fast start. Land, come on. Come on. Come on, baby, give me a land. Come on. Didn't give me a land. But we are able to get rid of Burrow. Oh, there's all 4. Look, oh, Lord. Just hit 4 lands in a row. Well, he's on 6 and we're on 2. Something tells me this is going to go poorly for us. Ugh. That hurts. It's Crisis. It'd be really nice to be able to kill that. We're not drawing lands, we're drawing Skull Prophets. We at least have potentially 5 mana next turn. I'm gonna dump into the graveyard and they're both gonna be lands. Guaranteed. Guaranteed, 100%. One of them was. Do that so you can't counter it. Now we at least have a blocker. That hurts. Look at that. 5 lands. All of the lands we would have drawn were the ones that we discarded. Elspeth Conquers Death hits that, and we basically just lose now. Oh no, he decides to... Ooh! Just cycling Elspeth Conquers Death. That sucks. That's us. Alright, no. We out. We out.